Hello and welcome to Premier League Game Week 6 predictions. Some big games this weekend, as we know in the Premier League. Liverpool still 5 from 5 so far. Arsenal and Spurs chasing them down on 10 points as well. And let's just dive straight into my Game Week 6 Premier League predictions. So the half-12 kickoff includes Brentford taking on Manchester United, of course. Brentford, decent. They haven't had a decent start. They've only beat Bournemouth in the cup and beat Aston Villa in the league. Horrible since then. 2-1 away, lost to Sunderland 2-2. Draw at home to Chelsea, where they did look good. Their home form is going to be a key part in them staying up this season, you would imagine, for Keith Andrews' side. 1-1 draw against Villa in the cup. They won that on penalties. And 3-1 loss away at Fulham. That was the game that really shone out to me as that they do look absolute crap. Man United beating Chelsea last week. Amaral will look to seek back-to-back first back-to-back Premier League wins during his tenure. Last time they did play, I remember that 4-0 game way back when in 2022. Last time they played was on the 4th of May. Brentford did win that 4-3. I think they were holding on towards the end of the game. And it was a 2-1 win for United back in October. I am going to back a 1-1 draw in this one. I think it'd be quite tight. I think Brentford's home form is going to be a main factor, as I said earlier, to keep them in this division. United, not so good. And I think Ruben Amorim will avoid a back-to-back wins again, which he's looking to crave for, but I don't think he's going to get. Brentford 1, United 1. Now into probably what is the game of the round in the 3 o'clockers, and it is Chelsea taking on Brighton at Stamford Bridge. Cole Palmer will be missing the next 3 Chelsea games, which is crucial for Chelsea this season. Very good win, or not a bit. It wasn't a very good win. It was a bit of a scrappy win against Lincoln City in the cup for Chelsea. Brighton, on the other hand, 6-0 winners over Barnsley. They've already done that to Oxford in the Carabao Cup this year as well. Chelsea losing to Bayern, losing to United. Not a great few days for Chelsea, but then United didn't have European football at the end of the day. They did have beaten Fulham this season. Not been that good for Chelsea of recent times, but they're still 6th in the table, still doing okay, level on points with Sunderland and Fulham. Last time these sides did play was a 4-2 home win for Chelsea over Brighton on the 28th of September. 2-1 home win for Brighton in the cup, and then 3-0 for Brighton back in February. I'm going to back a Chelsea home win in this one. I think it'd be tight, but I think Chelsea will just get over the line by 2-1 in this one over Brighton and Hove Albion. I think it'd be tight. I think it'd be scrappy, but I think Chelsea will win. And they'll beat Brighton quite comfortably in this one in my eyes. So Chelsea to win this by 2-1 over Brighton. Palace Liverpool now, and are Liverpool going to drop any points this season? We'll have to wait and find out. This is a game that might cause them a few issues away to Crystal Palace, definitely so, as Palace look okay, but 2-1 away win at West Ham last week was pretty good, wasn't it? 1-1 draw was the last time these sides did play. I think it was on the final date back into last season. 5th of October 2024 was a 1-0 away win for Liverpool in that one. Who do I back in this one? I think Liverpool have been looking good. Good win, beat Southampton in the cup, which was a bit of a tight game. It needed that Hugo Ekitike goal, and now he's suspended for this week's matches, so that is a bit silly from him, and I think he's been docked a few weeks' wages from Slot, which is credit to Slot and credit to Liverpool. I'm going to back Liverpool in this one. It's going to be too easy. I'm going to get, well, maybe not too easy. I think it'd be 2-1 a Liverpool away. Will they'll go 6 from 6? Can they go 7 from 7? Next week, we'll have to wait and find out as they take on Chelsea next weekend, which will be another test. So back in Liverpool to wins 2-1 away from home. Now to Leeds versus Bournemouth at Ellen Road, and Leeds might need to pick up some more points here if they are to try and stay in the Premier League. A very good away win last week at Molineux at Wolverhampton Wanderers, of course. Bournemouth drawing at home to Newcastle. Very good start for Andoni Iraola's side, up in 4th place in the Champions League places at the moment, which is very good for them. Head-to-head record against Leeds isn't amazing. 4-1 for Leeds, so against Leeds. Well, Leeds have won 4 games. Bournemouth have only won 2. Last time was that 4-3 dramatic game in the 2022 of November. 4-1 back for Bournemouth back on April the 30th in 2023. Gary O'Neill was back in charge then. I am actually going to back a Leeds win in this one. I think it'll be a crazy game of football. Going to go for a nice 3-2 Leeds United home win over Bournemouth in this one. I think it'll be tight. I think Leeds will get over the line in this one. So yeah, back in Leeds United to win by 3. Goes 2 over Bournemouth in this one. Man City, Burnley now, and you can probably guess what I'm going to predict this one because this fixture loves being a 5-0 at the Etihad, and it has been. Wasn't last time, wasn't the time before, but it has been 3 times in a row in 2018, 2020 and 2020 again. Burnley have never won at the Etihad according on this data on football, which is like since 2008, 2009 time. 17 wins for City, 2 draws and 1 win for Burnley. The only time Burnley did win that was back in, I don't even know when that was back in. Burnley, I don't think they've won any time recently. Anyway, City are going to win this. It's going to be quite a convincing win for Manchester City in this one. Burnley did win. That was at 2015. I think George Boyd got the goal, didn't he? Yes, he did. 1-0 win for Burnley. That was the last time Burnley beat Manchester City. City are winning this 4-0 quite convincingly. I know Scott Parker's side can be a bit defensive, but I absolutely think that Manchester City will win this and batter Burnley in this one. I'm going 4-0 City in this one over Burnley. Into the half-5 kickoffs, and Big Ange has had 4 games at Forest and yet 0 wins. And this is kind of the perfect game they would want. A newly promoted side as Sunderland at home, but Sunderland are very, very good and need to be watched out for this season. They are currently in 7th, Forest down in 15th. Forest would go on level on points with a win here under Big Ange. Last time these sides did play was back in 2017-18 season. Was 1-0 win away for Forest and then a 1-0 away win for Sunderland. Last time they did play in a friendly in 2024 and it was a 1-1 draw. Big Ange needs a win. I think he just needs to get a win to get the pressure off his back eventually. Very good performance in Europe against Betis. Probably deserved to win that game, but it's Ange's style of play. They're always going to seem to concede or just concede chances away in that kind of game. I'm going to back Nottingham Forest in this one. I think if Sunderland's defence is a bit leaky, I can see Forest running riot in this one. I'll go back Forest to win this 3-1 over Sunderland. I think it'd be quite a convincing victory in the end for Nottingham Forest and Big Ange Postecoglou, and he will get that first win on the mark against newly promoted Sunderland, and maybe Sunderland start to filter down the table a little bit now, but they've had an amazing start. Can they keep that up? Tottenham Wolves is the 8 o'clock on the Saturday night then. Vitor Pereira hoping that they can win this game. They did beat Everton in the Carabao Cup the other night. 4-2 for Wolves. Last time they did play back in April, on April the 13th. Was a 2-2 draw back in December around Christmas time. Last time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Very good start for Thomas Frank's side. Only little blip in there was Bournemouth at home. They currently sit third in the table, level on points with Arsenal. Thomas Frank really started to implement his ideas and they're starting to do well. As for Wolves, 5 losses out of 5. Are they going to go 007? We'll have to wait and see. They're only 2 away, and Spurs is a very difficult fixture, and they play Brighton next week at Molineux, which will also be looking to win. I am going to back Spurs in this one. I think Wolves still aren't amazing. They have scored 3 goals. They're just really leaky at the back. Go back with Spurs to win this 2-0 over Wolves in this one. Be quite a comfortable win, I think, for Tottenham Hotspur over Wolves in this one. And Spurs to win this by 2-0. Aston Villa versus Fulham is the Super Sunday 2-o'clocker. Villa beating Bologna last night in the Europa League might be a bit leggy, but as for Fulham, they did beat Cambridge 1-0 scrappy in the Carabao Cup in the week. A couple of extra days rest for Marco Silva's side. They've been in flying form, apart from that Chelsea game, which arguably they didn't even deserve to lose. They've been in great form, have Fulham. They didn't start the season well, but they're finally into a bit of groove now. Fulham are in 8th, Villa still in the drop zone. Are Villa still going to be a bit leggy from the Europa League game against Bologna last night? Last time these sides did play was a 1-0 home win for Aston Villa on the 3rd of May, and then back on the 19th of October. It was a 3-1 away win for Aston Villa. I'm going to back the Villains in this one at Villa Park to get over the line. I think it'd be tight, I think it'd be scrappy, but I think they will finally get their second goal in the Premier League, and I'm going to back Aston Villa for a nice 1-0 home win in this one over Fulham. I think it'd be tight and scrappy, but I think Villa will just get over the line by a 0-0 over Fulham in this one. Newcastle take on Arsenal then in the blockbuster clash of the weekend at St James's Park. Newcastle have always been a bit of a bogey side for Arsenal in the past. 23 times Arsenal have won this fixture, 3 draws and 7 losses. Newcastle did beat them in the Carabao Cup last season. 18th of May was a 1-0 home win for Arsenal in that one, and Newcastle beat them by a goal to nil. I think that was a controversial out of play goal that Arteta wasn't happy about. They currently do sit second, but they are 5 points off Liverpool, are Arsenal so far this season. Newcastle down in 13th. They'll be looking to do it a bit better behind their local rivals Sunderland, and they're also behind Leeds, which won't be great for them. I am going to back another Newcastle win in this one. I'm backing a Newcastle home win 1-0 over Arsenal in this one. I think it'll be scrappy but and tight, and I think Arsenal will continue to have troubles at St James's Park, no matter Wecky now. Odegaard but probably still out, and we know that Hincapie and Havertz are all out as well. So yeah, back in Newcastle to win this by a goal to nil over Arsenal. Everton West Ham now then on the Monday night football, and yeah, this should be a good game. Graham Potter's job, if they lose this, could definitely be on the line. Back-to-back losses for Everton: 2-1 away at Liverpool, 2-1 away loss at Liverpool, and then 2-0 away loss at Wolves in the Carabao, which they're not really too fussed about. Really, will Everton? Palace was West Ham lost to Palace in that. At the weekend before that, their only win of the season coming against Nuno's Forest in August, I think, before the international break. Nice 3-0 away win for Graham Potter's side. Last time they did play was a 1-1 draw back in March earlier this year. 2-1 home win in a friendly for West Ham over Everton. It was 0-0 back in November 2024 as well. Everton 10th, West Ham 19th. Graham Potter's side will be looking to win this, but you never know. And I think the Hill Dickinson Stadium might be get rocking for this one. I was about to say good as part, they're no longer there. Everton win this one, surely. I'm going to go for a nice 2-0 Toffees win in this one over West Ham United. I think West Ham are struggling a little bit now. And yeah, back in Everton to win this by 2-0 over West Ham in this one. Thank you very much for watching my Premier League Game Week 6 predictions. If you did like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff, and I'll speak to you all on the next one, which will be EFL review on Sunday or Monday. Might be a Sunday this time around, depending on what is going on. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll speak to you all on the next one.